Hi, my name is Lily and welcome back to my channel. Now, I know I normally don't set TBRs, but for the month of December, I thought I would try to create a loose TBR to get me through the books I want to finish this year. Mostly because I haven't really read any of my most anticipated books of the year, or most of the books at the top of my TBR. That's been because I've had a lot of buddy reads, I've had a lot of review copies, and I've been doing a lot of readathons, which has meant that I have not been prioritising the books that I really want to read. So I wanted to create myself this loose TBR to sort of focus my reading back onto things I want to read. I'm splitting this TBR up into 4 parts. The first part is books I want to finish that have carried over from November. The second is buddy reads. The third part is books I definitely want to read in December. The fourth part is a quick-fire list of books I would like to get to if I finish books in all the other parts. The buddy reads might not finish in December, but they're the books that I'm going to be reading mostly in December. So first up is the books I want to finish. The first book I want to finish is West by Edith Patu. I have the dust jacket here. Sorry, I have been reading it with the dust jacket off because it's so pretty. This is the dust jacket, if you can see that properly. This is the sequel to Northchild, which I buddy read this month with my friend Livy, and I'm now reading the sequel and I'm really excited. I've been really enjoying it so far. I've read that much. So I'm hoping to read a significant bit more before December starts in a few days, and then I hopefully will finish it in December because it's a nice wintry, snowy read for winter. The other book I've kind of started and want to finish this month is Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. I say I've started it, I've read about 50 pages, but I want to try and finish it. This is my Waterstones one, I think. It's the one with the gold sprayed edges, I can't remember. It's my least favourite of the special editions. So yeah, this is the one I want to try and finish. My next little stack are the ones that I'm going to be buddy reading. The first one is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm about 175 pages in right now. We're checking in every 300 pages. So I'm reading this with my friend Nicola, and I will definitely finish this in December. So at the moment we're reading up to page 200, and then over the next couple of weeks I'll probably finish this. I'm hopefully also going to be buddy reading Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, and that's going to be with my friend Georgia. And this one I'm really excited for. It's been on so many TBRs, so I'm so excited to finally be getting to it. We're hopefully going to read as much as we can in December, but it's really going to depend on how much time we both have. And the final buddy read I'm hoping to get to in December is Star Daughter by Shweta Thakrar. I'm going to be buddy reading this with Livy again once we've had a bit of a break between this and our previous buddy read, so she can catch up on some review copies. So hopefully we'll be reading this in December. This I'm quite excited for. I saw it was a Fairy Loot book and that got me really interested. This isn't a Fairy Loot copy, but I'm really excited. I really love sci-fi, and this is kind of sci-fi, so that's going to be really exciting. This next part is going to be a little bit chattier because I'm going to talk to you about why I want to read all of these books this month. The first book I want to read is The Cousins by Karen McManus. This I'm going to be reading because I have a review copy for the blog tour, so I will be posting a review for that in a little while, and I'm really excited. I wanted to read it as close to my posting date as possible, so I'm going to be starting it at the beginning of December. This is another thriller from the author of One of Us is Lying and those sort of books. This is a bit different. This one is about some cousins, and I think someone has died and they are possibly inheriting something from them, and they all meet on this island. That's all I really know. I've heard it's really good and quite different to her other books, which is great, and I'm really excited to read it. The next book I am probably the most excited about right now is Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline. I love Ready Player 1. It's one of my favourite books, and the audiobook especially, which is read by Bill Wheaton, is incredible. It's really just engrossing, and it really got a lot of people I know into Ready Player 1. So I'm really excited to read Ready Player 2. This is the Waterstones edition with blue sprayed edges. It's got really nice end papers. And it's also signed, which is kind of hard to see, but yes, so I'm really excited for this. I've been waiting for this for a really long time. I don't really know much about what happens in it, so I've kind of tried to avoid anything even close to spoilers, and I'm really excited to read this. The next one is Midnight Swan by Catherine Fisher. This is the third and final book in the Clockwork Crow trilogy, and I'm really excited. I really have loved the first two, which is the Clockwork Crow and the Velvet Fox, so I'm hoping this one's going to be really, really good. It's all based around Welsh folklore, I think, so it's going to be magical and mystical, but also a bit creepy because I found the other ones quite creepy as well, and it's a really, really good middle grade. I love it a lot. Next up is Frostheart by Jamie Littler. I was gifted this on my birthday by my friend Steph, and I've been saving it for the Christmas period because I thought it sounded perfect for then. I don't know much about it, but I know it's Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin's favourite book, and it's meant to be really good. I've heard such amazing things, and when Steph gifted it to me, she left a really lovely note saying she really loved it, so I am so excited to give this a go this month. I also really like to read Nala's World by Dean Nicholson. This is the story of Dean and his cat Nala. Dean has been cycling around the world, and one day he found Nala as a kitten and he decided to adopt her and take her on his travels, and he's actually now adapted his travels around Nala, so he has not gone to any countries that won't let her in, and he will go to places that are cat friendly, and it's so lovely, and I really love following them on Instagram. They're so sweet and he's so funny, and Nala's just the best. So I'm really excited to read about their journey in Dean's own words. Next up is The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna. Yes. So this one I got secondhand from someone who got it in the Fairy League box. It's not actually been published yet, and I really want to read it soon so I can read it before publication, and I'm really excited. I don't know much, I just have heard really wonderful things from all the people that have had early copies. It's a fantasy, I think it's historical, so it's going to be really fun. This is the exact kind of fantasy style that I love, so I'm really hoping it's going to feel really homely to me and that I'm going to get into it straight away. The final book on my definite TBR is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This is the Goldsborough signed edition, so it's got a signature in the front and it's got this lovely slipcase it comes in. So I haven't read this yet because I've kind of been worried that I won't like it as much as I want to, kind of similar with Addie LaRue, and I am actually really excited to finally give it a go, honestly. Now that it's doing so well and so many people have loved it, including people who are kind of new to Matt Haig, I have so much faith that I'm going to love this book, and I'm really excited to get to it. I'm hoping to read this one over the Christmas period when I have time off work because I kind of want to sit and binge it. Now, the next stack is definitely the biggest one that I'm dealing with, and these are all the books that I maybe want to get to if I finish all of these books that I've already shown you. Now, I could say they're all part of the TBR as well, but they're kind of more loosely tied to the TBR because they're ones I'm excited about but I'm willing to wait a bit longer, and I didn't want to put them all on my TBR and feel really stressed out. So the ones I just shown you are the ones that are higher priority for me, and then these are the ones that if I have time I'd love to get to them as well. First is A Conjuring of Light by V. Schwab. This is the second book in the A Darker Shade of Magic series. I read the first one for the Schwab along. I loved it a lot. I really didn't think I was going to. I tried to get into it before and not liked it, and I've known some people who've said it's quite dry, but I got really into it and really loved the characters, and I'm really excited to see where they go next. But this one is quite the chunker, so I'm not sure I'm going to get to this in December, but hopefully if I have enough time I will. The next one's going to make a lot of people really happy, and that is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I actually knew about this book before it was published because I used to follow Casey, and then I kind of just got a bit scared because it was a bit overhyped. But this one was also gifted to me on my birthday by my friend Georgia, who I'm buddy reading with later this month, and I've been really wanting to get to it since. I think it's going to be a really quick and easy read for me because I find romances really draw me in and make me read fast and make me want to see what happens next. So I'm hoping this one's going to be one that I might be able to squeeze in to finish off the year and sort of top up my Goodreads goal. Next is The Selection by Kira Cass. I picked this up in The Works, really cheap as a box set. If you don't live in the UK, The Works is this shop that sells box sets of really popular books and series for really cheap. I think I picked up the whole of the Selection series for like under £10. It was ridiculous. So of course I wanted to give it a go after I found out that there was a Netflix show, I think, coming, and everyone I know seems to read this when they were teenagers, and I'd never heard of it until this Netflix show got announced. So I'd really like to give it a go because everyone really seems to love this series. Next is Camp by Elsie Rosen. I have read and absolutely adored Jack of Hearts and Other Parts, and this is his second young adult novel, and Again, the reason I haven't read it yet is because I am scared I'm not going to love it as much as I think I will. But this is also another romancy book, so this is hopefully going to be a really quick read I can tack on to the end of the year. And I'm really excited because I know this is going to be a new favourite, I just need to get to it. This one is about an LGBT camp, which is why I'm so excited for it. Next is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. This is from a sticker. Please stop putting stickers on books, they ruin them. Now this is the second book in the Cinder Lunar Chronicles series. I really loved Cinder. I listened to it on audiobook because I think I had it on Audible and I didn't realise, but I now have this one physically and I'm really excited to read it. I think it's going to be so good because I really love the first one. I just need to get to it and I've been wanting to get to it for ages. It's just not been priority enough, but I want to read it before I've forgotten what happened in the first one. I also want to read Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This will be my first Brandon Sanderson book and I've heard really great things about him, his writing and the Skyward series, and my main motivation for this is I want to read this quickly so I know whether or not I like it, because if I do I want to get the second book in hardback before the hardback goes out of print. And that is my main reasoning here. I am really excited because I've heard really great things, and this is also young adult sci-fi, which is my absolute favourite subsection of sci-fi, so it should be really good. I'm also hoping to get to Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. This has been the top of my TBR since June, but it's been another one where I just haven't been able to get it high enough on my priority list to read it. And I really would like to get to it by the end of the year, but if not, this is definitely going to be one I'm going to try and squeeze into January because it is so important to me that I read this really soon. One a bit close to my heart is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, and the reason I want to read this one so badly is it has Own Voices autism rap, and I'm trying my best to read more even though I often find it quite triggering, but I really want to support these books and be able to talk about them on my channel because as an Own Voices reviewer, I want to see more of these books. Another book I want to read soon is The Gilded Walls by Roxana Chokshi. Yes, I got it right. And the reason I want to read this is because I won this in a giveaway from my friend Alison, and I really want to be able to read it so I can talk to her about how much I loved it because I'm sure I'm going to love it. I've heard it's got really like Six of Crows vibes, and Six of Crows is one of my favourite books, so that's instantly a selling point for me. If it's similar to Six of Crows, I'm there. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be a quick read for me because heist style books often are quite fast paced, so I really hope I get to this. I'd also really like to get to Meat Market by Gina Dawson. I'm trying to catch up on Gina Dawson because I wasn't really aware of her for a while and now I'm trying to read all of her books. This is the one that I have at the moment on my TBR and I'm really excited. I really loved Clean, and Proud, the anthology she edited, was also amazing and I've heard really great things. I believe this takes part in like the Clean universe but is separate to Clean, and it sounds really good, and Gina Dawson is just an incredible writer, so I think this could be another like quick read I can add because I find her writing really compelling. And the last one on this TBR is Loveless by Alice Oseman. I only got this recently during a Waterstones sale and I've heard really great things, but I've been kind of nervous to try it because I've also heard some mixed things from other people about some of the rep in this. But I am excited. I really like Alice Oseman's writing, but I've mostly just read her graphic novels. I read her graphic novels, the Heartstopper ones, and I Was Born for This, and I've loved all of them, but the ones before I Was Born for This, I've heard mixed things, so I'm a bit worried that Loveless might not be for me, but I am really excited to get to it. So that is 23 books on this TBR for 1 month. I normally read maximum like 11, and often at least half of those is audiobooks, so the chances of me getting to all of these physical books is not the highest. I'm gonna be really honest with you, but I think having this big TBR is great as a mood reader because it means I can chop and change and I can choose something to my liking without feeling like I've not stuck to a TBR when I have. So I'm hopeful. I think this is going to be good. I think I'm going to get to quite a lot of these. I have quite a lot of time off over Christmas where I'm going to be on my own, so hopefully that means I can get a lot of reading done. And I really want to read all these books. All these books are on my TBR for a reason, and that reason is that I'm excited to read all of them. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if there's any of these books you think I should be prioritising first. If you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to see more content from me. All of my social media links are down in the description below. Thank you. Bye!